Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you girls high school basketball action as the 13-5 Colfax Vikings will be taking on the 8-12 Somerset Spartans from the Middle Border Conference in a non-conference girls matchup in Somerset. Now, the Vikings are rolling after a 59-34 trouncing of the Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Thursday, while the Spartans are coming off a 53-22 loss to the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks on Friday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Spartans and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Then, even though this is a non-conference game, we'll take a quick look around the Dunn St. Croix Conference just to see where things line up. Following that, we'll send it out to Somerset High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking pregame on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game as the 13-5 Colfax Vikings are taking on the 8-12 Somerset Spartans from the Middle Border Conference. The Vikings dominated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves back on Thursday by the score of 59-34, while the Spartans were defeated by the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks on Friday, 53-22. Now, in that win over the Wolves, the Vikings controlled the game from the beginning and nearly everyone saw significant action en route to the 25-point victory. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior Sierra Shipman, who hit on 5 of 9 field goals, including going 1 for 3 from three-point range, as well as going 5 for 8 from the charity stripe for 16 points.
Shipman to Hajdukovic on the right elbow. Back out to Shipman. She put up the three. She hit the three.
Sierra Shipman with 11 points.
She was followed by junior Jordan Bovey, who nailed 6 of 13 field goals, including 1 from three-point land and a free throw for 14 points.
Gets it over to the left side. Baseline shot is up and good for 3. That was Jordan Bovey.
Junior Bryn Sikora added another dozen points to the Viking effort with 3 field goals, 2 of which were three-pointers, and 4 free throws.
Out to Nichols. Back to Sikora. Launches a 3. She hit the 3. Bryn Sikora with the three-pointer.
All in all, 7 of the 10 Vikings who saw action put points on the board. The Vikings were led in rebounds by Sikora and junior Clara Hajdukovic with 8 and 7 boards, respectively. Tonight, the Vikings get to step out of conference play and take on the Middle Border Conference's Somerset Spartans. The Spartans are currently posting an 8-12 overall record and a 4-7 conference record. Now, last season, the Vikings defeated the Somerset Spartans 60-50 in Colfax. This season, the Spartans are scoring an average of 23 points per game while giving up an average of 42. So far this season, leading the way scoring for the Spartans is senior guard Lucy Nichols, who's hitting on 32% of her shots from three-point land while averaging nearly 14 points per game. She's followed by junior forward Grace Braithwaite, who's shooting 41% from the floor while contributing nearly 12 points per game. Junior guard Avery Hoff is also adding 8 points per game. Senior Ashley Carfel leads the Spartans in rebounding with 10 boards per game. The Vikings so far this season are being led in scoring by Jordan Bovey, who's shooting 45% from the floor while averaging over 14 points per game. She's being followed by junior Sierra Shipman, who's shooting 44% from the floor, including 33% from three-point range, and is averaging 10 points per game. Junior Bryn Sikora is contributing an average of just under 9 points per game. On the board, Sikora is pulling down over 6 rebounds per game, while Shipman is grabbing right around 5.5. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today, once again, on Coach's Corner, we're going to talk with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings are going to take the court in a non-conference game against the Somerset Spartans. But before we get to that game, back on Thursday, the Vikings took care of business by defeating the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 59-34. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I think it's hard to play a team, 2 times in 3 days. Just, I don't know, it's not normal, I would say. But I was really impressed with our ball movement. I was impressed with our ability to, go from a good shot to a great shot. I thought we, had a lot of nice looks in transition. Missed a few easy ones, but that will happen sometimes. Otherwise, I was really impressed with our, ability to rebound, and our defense was great too. So overall, it was a good team win.
It seems as though your trio of juniors, Sierra Shipman, Jordan Bovey, and Bryn Sikora, take turns at stepping up to lead the Vikings from game to game, with other players filling in some of the rough spots and polishing up on the defense and the passing attack. That's got to create nightmares for opposing teams, as you never know who's going to step up in any particular game. Your thoughts about those dilemmas that you guys are creating?
Yeah, like you said, those 3 can really put the ball in the basket. So you have to put somebody on, all 3 of them, every night. So not a lot of teams have, 3 really good defenders. So I think it creates, some matchups that are more, advantage for us versus advantage to the defense.
Now, in the past couple of games, we've seen some improved ball movement and improved patience by the Vikings. Are the girls getting close to where you want them to be as the season head towards the playoff?
Yeah, I think we're always just, the next game is an opportunity to get better. So, we've just been trying to continue what we do and, work hard in practice. And it seems like we've had not a lot of practice lately in a lot of games, but sometimes, those can be, beneficial too. So, I would say that, we're definitely moving there. I think in the next few weeks, between the tough opponents that we play and, some little things in practice that work on, timing and execution, will definitely be playing our best basketball.
So tonight, the Vikings will face another non-conference team out of the Middle Border Conference. That's the Somerset Spartans. What can you tell us about the Spartans?
I think they're a better team than what their record leads them to be. They definitely have kids, you know, who can put the ball in the basket. I think they're tall, they're athletic, and it seems like they're, you know, playing well right now. So it's definitely going to take, you know, our best team defensive effort along with some pretty good individual efforts on the defensive end tonight. I was happy, you know, that we were able to play Plum City twice last week. We were able to get some zone offense practice, which will help us, I think, for tonight.
Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can keep polishing their game and be ready to close out the regular season ready for the WIAA playoffs.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Welcome back to Viking pregame. Back on Thursday, the Dun St. Croix Conference had a full slate of games. In that action, the Vikings defeated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 59-34, while the Boyceville Bulldogs came out on top of the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 66-44. It was the Elk Mound Mounders keeping their conference record perfect by defeating the Spring Valley Cardinals 64-14. And the Durand, Arkansas Panthers picked up the win over the Mondovi Buffaloes 55-37. On Friday, two Dun St. Croix teams picked up some non-conference action as the Glenwood City Hilltoppers were facing the Cumberland Beavers, with the Hilltoppers coming out on top, winning that one 51-42. And the Boyceville Bulldogs took on the Ellsworth Panthers, and the Bulldogs emerged victorious 65-49. Now that all leaves the Dun St. Croix Conference standings as follows. In first place are the unbeaten at 11-0 Elk Mound Mounders. 2 games back in second place are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers at 9-2, while the Vikings at 8-3 and 3 games off the pace are in third. Fourth place finds the Mondovi Buffaloes at 7-4, while the Boyceville Bulldogs at 4-6 are in fifth place. It's the Spring Valley Cardinals at 3-8 in sixth place, while seventh place finds the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves are in eighth place. Tonight, 2 other teams from the Dun St. Croix are facing some non-conference competition. Now that does include the Vikings traveling to Somerset to take on the Spartans, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers will journey to Prescott to face the Cardinals. Tonight, the Vikings are looking to continue to build momentum as the WIAA regionals are starting to draw near and learn to adjust to the absence of the injured Cason Goodell. Meanwhile, the Spartans would like to get back to winning and also prepare for the upcoming WIAA regionals. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Somerset High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's girls' game between the Colfax Vikings and the Somerset Spartans. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking Basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
And over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Goodell from three, she'd hit the three!
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking Basketball.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Somerset High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you the Colfax Vikings taking on the Somerset Spartans. We've got a couple of minutes before the start of today's game. So Dan, why don't you go through the starting lineups for us?
Yeah, here's the starters tonight for the Somerset Spartans. We're going to go senior number 0, Ella Olson. Junior number 2, Avery Hoff. Junior number 3, Grace Braithwaite. Senior number 12, Lucy Nichols. And senior number 34, Ashley Careful. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go junior number 12, Jordan Bovey. Freshman number 24, Lyric Nichols. Junior number 30, Sierra Shipman. Junior number 34, Bryn Sikora. And junior number 44, Clara Hajdukovic.
And so there's the starters. Want to remind you that today's Viking basketball game is being brought to you by the Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee, Hyatt Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete products for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Make sure you do some business with these fine folks because they're the reason that we're able to bring you Colfax High School basketball right here on NLWN-TV. Also, as we're getting ready for tonight's game, we got a couple of games tomorrow night for you. We have a boys then girls doubleheader, and both games will be carried on both NLWN-TV and NLWN2. We'll start with the Viking boys taking on the Mondovi Buffaloes, and then that'll be followed by the girls facing the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Coverage starts with Viking pregame at 5:15, and that'll be followed by both games on both NLWN-TV and NLWN2. Very shortly, we're going to turn it over to the scoring table and public address announcers for the opening ceremonies for tonight's game. Vikings come into this game with a overall record of 13-5. They do happen to be 8-3 in the Dun St. Croix Conference, but this is a non-conference game. The Somerset Spartans are 8-12 on the year. They're 4-7 in the very tough Middle Border Conference. And so now we'll send it down to the scores table for the opening announcements.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Somerset High School for tonight's non-conference game. The visiting Colfax Vikings So before starting lineups, let's take a minute to honor all the teachers chosen by the team. This is just a fraction of the adults that go above and beyond the rest of all the staff here in the school. First, we have Ashley Carroll with Mrs. Sutton. Lucy Nichols with Mr. Ball. Avery Hawk with Mr. Wick. Coach Lee Schroeder. Grace Brinkley with Kyle Rudy. Trainer Hall of Fame. Lily Peterson and Ella Olson with Mrs. Wick. Greatest front desk lady ever. Marley Lane with Mr. Berry. Morgan Driscoll with Mr. Clark. Anna Nichols and Lily Nash with Mr. Roscoe. Another member of the live stream group. Josie Olson with Mr. White. Riley Hartman and Callie Donahue with Mrs. Reeves. Scorekeeping extraordinary. Nora Chater and Alina Stedman with Mrs. Olson. Claire Donahue with Miss Emerson. Lily Brakely and Addison Breeze with Miss Granite. A huge thank you to all the teachers for everything that they do. Now, let's get into basketball business. After a picture.
So the Spartan basketball team is recognizing the teachers here at Somerset High School for Teacher Appreciation Week.
At this time, we ask all those who are in, please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
the rules of
the NFHS, the WIAA,
and the Middle Border Conference.
These rules apply to
fair play and good sportsmanship.
Between athletes and coaches. Athletes ask that you demonstrate the ideals of good sportsmanship.
Fair play.
And respect for our teammates. Opponents.
And the officials.
And now it's game time. Let's hear the starting lineups.
And let's get to those starting lineups right now. First, for the visiting Colfax Vikings. He's a junior, number 12, Jordan Owie. Freshman, number 24, Lyric Nichols. Junior, number 30, Sierra Shipman. Junior, number 34, Bryn Sikora. And junior, number 44, Clara Hadukovic. Your Vikings are coached by Courtney Sauer. And now the starting lineup for your Somerset Spartans. She's a 5'7" senior forward, number 0, Ella Olsen. She's a 5'5" junior guard, number 2, Avery Hahn. She's a 5'9" junior forward, number 3, Grace Braithwaite. 5'6" senior guard, number 12, Lucy Nichols. And a 5'10" senior forward, number 34, Ashley Carroll.
So there's the starting lineups for both the Somerset Spartans and the Vikings. And out on the floor, we have the Vikings with Bovey, Nichols, Shipman, Sikora, and Hadukovic. Hadukovic getting ready to jump center. And jumping center is Grace Braithwaite for the Spartans. She's joined by Olsen, Hoff, Nichols, and Careful. And the opening tip goes to the Vikings. Bovey with the ball in the forecourt. Gets it over to Sikora. Then to Shipman. Takes it over to the right side, down into the right corner. Bovey puts it up. It rolls off the rim. No good. Sikora gets the rebound. Gets it out to Bovey. Over into the corner to Shipman. On the right side. Back out high to Bovey. Then to Shipman on the right wing. Drives to the top of the key.
Somerset's in 2-3 zone.
Shipman has the ball, feeds it into the lane, then out to Hadukovic, back over to Shipman. Puts up a 3, but drew nothing but air. And the ball will go over to the Spartans. Braithwaite with the ball. She brings it across the timeline. Top of the key. Feeds it down in the corner to Olsen. Back out high. Careful, and then gets it over to Hoff. Then they swing it over to the left side. That's Nichols. And then back to Hoff. Back to Nichols. Puts a shot up. It's off the iron. No good. Rebound chased down by Braithwaite. Out to Hoff. Then over to Nichols. Nichols takes it to the top of the key. Over to the left side to Braithwaite. Then to Hoff. Hoff dribbles around to the left side, feeds it off in the left corner, and got it to Olsen, who had a foot on the end line. So the ball will go over to the Vikings. Jordan Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it over to the Viking version of Nichols. Back out to Bovey. To Shipman on the left. She's high, wide, and left. To Bovey. Between the circles. Over to the right side to Nichols. Back to Bovey. Vikings being very patient. Bovey with it. Feeds it to Shipman. Lays it up and puts it in. They found Shipman breaking, and Bovey saw her. Got it to her. And the Vikings are on top 2-0. Shot goes up that time by Nichols. Is no good for the Spartans, and the Vikings come back down the floor. Shipman has it on the left side to Sikora. Feeds it to Bovey, who drives the lane, puts it up and in. If the Vikings make that work, they're going to be dangerous tonight. And we have a timeout on the floor with 15:45 to go. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Somerset High School, Spartans with the ball, full court pressure being put on by the Vikings, and they knocked the ball loose, but then the Spartans knocked it back in off Sikora's legs, and it went out of bounds. The Spartans have the ball. Vikings still putting pressure on. Hoff with it in the backcourt, dribbles it up across the timeline, right down into the lane, feeds it underneath. Shot got blocked that time by Hajdukovic. Real nice block that time by Clara Hajdukovic. And Bovey has it between the circles for the Vikings. Over to Nichols on the right side. Down into the corner to Sikora. Puts up the three. She hit the three. Bryn Sikora with a three-pointer. Puts the Vikings up 7-0. Nichols has it over to the left side. That's Olsen with it. Now they swing it back over to the right side. That's Nichols. Then to Braithwaite, goes down to the baseline, feeds it down, and it goes out of bounds off of Careful. And the Vikings get the ball back. The Vikings already starting that in-your-face defense that they play.
And Somerset mixes up. They went to man-to-man now, left zone.
Sikora with it on the right side. Puts up a 10-footer, but got fouled in the process. And the foul is going to be on Ella Olsen. That's the first foul on anybody. Getting ready to check in for the Vikings is Layla Hurlbert. First shot is up and good by Sikora.
Sikora at the line shooting 2. And entering the game for your Vikings, number 14, junior Layla Hurlbert.
Second shot is up. It's off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Gets it out to Sikora. Over to Bovey, all on the left side. To Shipman. Back out to Bovey. To Hurlbert on the right. She's high, wide, and right. And it goes off the hip of Bovey and back into the backcourt, and it's over and back violation against the Vikings. So Nichols to inbound. Takes it over to the left side to Olsen. Comes back out high, feeds it to Careful, puts it up, and it goes in. Ashley Careful with the shot, makes it 7-2. Vikings on top. 8-2, sorry about that. Sikora gets it out high to Shipman, puts up a three, it's no good. Careful comes down with the rebound. To Nichols. Takes it down the left side of the lane, puts a shot up, and it goes in. Spartans have cut the Viking lead in half, 8-4. Hurlburt with it. Loses the handle. We'll get it fought for. We're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow should be in favor of the Spartans. Vikings going to put some pressure on. Pass comes in to Braithwaite. She feeds it over to Nichols, who brings it across the timeline, takes it over to the right side. Back out to Braithwaite from three. She hit the three. Cuts the Viking lead to 1 as it's 8-7. Bovey with it, gets it to Hurlburt. Hurlburt tries to feed it into Hajdukovic, but it got tipped away. And Nichols has it, puts up the three. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Braithwaite, and we got a whistle and a foul on the floor. It's going to be against the Vikings. It's going to be on Sikora. That'll be her first team foul on the Vikings. Nichols gets it in to Careful, and then over to the left side. Three-pointer goes up, no good by Avery Hoff, and the Vikings come away with the ball. Bovey with it, gets it over to Nichols on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. Back out to Bovey, but a little bit too high for her, and it's out of bounds. All of a sudden, the Vikings have gotten a little ragged.
Yeah, they gotta settle back in. They're used to playing man-to-man, but against man-to-man, but they're kind of lost right now.
So the Spartans have the ball high, wide, and right. Now they get it back out to the top of the key. That's Nichols. Over to the left side, back over to the right. Pass into the lane, got tipped away. And then down in the corner, three-pointer is up, no good. Rebound hauled down by Nichols for the Spartans to Braithwaite. She puts leaping leaner up. It's no good. And Sikora comes away with the rebound. She gets it to Bovey. Bovey feeds it over to the near side. And then laying it up and in is Shipman.
Sierra Shipman for 2.
Adeline Acker is also in the lineup for the Vikings. Spartans with it at the top of the key. Then they get it over to Olsen on the left side, to Braithwaite at the top of the key. Ball got knocked loose by Acker. They get it back out to Hoff. Then down into the lane to Careful. She puts a shot up. It's good, and we're going to get a foul.
Foul's going to be number 30.
So that's Sierra Shipman with the foul. That's her first personal. Second team foul on the Vikings.
Team second. Checking in for your Spartans, number 20, Morgan Driscoll.
So checking in for the Spartans is Morgan Driscoll, the junior guard. Careful puts it up and in. And we're tied at 10. So the Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Bovey with it on the right side. Gets it out to Acker between the circles. Then back over to the right side, down into the corner to Bovey. Puts a shot up from the corner, and she got it. In the two-point land. So it's 12-10, Vikings on top. Spartans feed it over to the right side. Braithwaite has it at the top of the key, then over to the left side. Back out to Careful. Long three-pointers, no good. Rimmed around and came back out. And the Vikings come back down the floor with it. Bovey with it. Feeds it over to Acker. And then to Sikora. Sikora tries to get it out. And it's going to go over and back against the Vikings. She tried to get it to Nichols and was just a little bit off on the pass. Hajdukovic back into the lineup for the Vikings as Acker takes a seat. Spartans to inbound. Nichols has the ball between the circles, gets it over to the left side, down into the corner to Marley Lane, Back out, Hine coming over to the right side. This is Nichols with it. She gets it over to Lane. And then to Driscoll, back to Lane, down, or Lane's got it now. Back out high, wide and left. That was Nichols. Nichols has it back now. And back, we're going to get a whistle.
I think it's going to be on 34 for Colfax.
Yep, foul on Sikora.
Quick 2 for her.
That's first, second. Team's third.
3 fouls on the Vikings, 2 of them on Sikora. Lane has the ball. They get it over to the right side, and we're going to get a whistle. Oh, it's not. I mean, yes, it was a whistle, but I thought it was going to be a foul, and it was an offensive foul. And the foul is going to be on Morgan Driscoll. That'll be her first. Second team foul on the Spartans, and the Vikings have the ball. Bovey with it. Feeds it over to Nichols on the right side. Feeds it into the lane to Shipman, then back out to Hurlburt. It rims around a three-pointer's no good. And the Spartans come back down the floor. They get it back out. High swing it over to the left side. This is Lane. And they swing it back over to the right side to Driscoll. Then to Peterson. And now it's back to Driscoll. Over to Lane. Down underneath the careful. She puts it up. It's no good. It's out of bounds. And it's going to be Viking ball.
Yeah, good job so far by number 44, Claire Hajdukovic. She's had to play kind of both sides, the weak side and the strong side, and doing a good job of getting over there.
And so down the floor come the Vikings. They've got it over on the right side. Hurlburt tries to feed it in toward the lane. It got knocked out of bounds off of Braithwaite. And it will be Viking ball. Nichols to inbound. Gets it into Hajdukovic. Puts it up, no good. Right idea that time, just not quite enough to get it there. Hoff with it. Feeds it out to Braithwaite. Jumper from the lane is no good. And the Vikings come away with the ball. Bovey with it on the dribble. She's got it between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to her, or Hajdukovic. Back out high to Nichols. Nichols bounce pass into Bovey. Coming down the right side of the lane, feeds it back out to Hurlburt. Back out to Bovey, three-pointer on the way, comes up short. Braithwaite comes away with the ball. She takes it down the right side of the lane. Now they get it back out high to Driscoll, then to Lane. Back to Driscoll, right near the sideline to Braithwaite. And then over to Hoff. Hoff at the free throw line, drives into the lane, puts it up, puts it in. We're tied at 12. Just over 8 minutes, actually just under 8 minutes now. Vikings have the ball over on the right side. Shipman over to Hurlburt, back out to Shipman, to Nichols at the top of the key. Takes it to the free throw line, to Hajdukovic, back to Nichols, spins, puts it up and got fouled. Lyric Nichols to go to the line for 2. And the foul's going to be on Ashley Careful. And it's her first personal, third team foul on the Spartans. Nichols' shot is up and good. (13-12). Sikora back into the lineup for the Vikings as Hurlburt takes a seat. And the second shot is up. It rolls around, no good. Rebound taken down by Braithwaite. She brings it down the floor, takes it into the paint, kicks it out to Hoff. Hoff from the corner is no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. So far, the Vikings doing a pretty good job of getting rebounding position on the Spartans. Vikings have it over on the right side now, top of the key to Nichols, to Hajdukovic on the right. Back out to Sikora, top of the key, feeds it into the lane to Shipman, lays it up, puts it in. Sierra Shipman with 2 more.
6 points for her.
Spartans with it. Top of the key, driving into the lane is Lane. Lane in the lane, and the ball goes out of bounds off the Vikings. Acker into the lineup for the Vikings as Nichols takes a seat. Driscoll to inbound. She gets it into Hoff, to Braithwaite, to Lane. From the free throw line is no good, and Bovey with the ball. Bovey across the timeline. Feeds it over to the near side to Acker. Then down to Sikora. Sikora takes it back out to the top of the key to Hajdukovic. Goes over to the right side to Shipman, then down into the corner to Sikora. Sikora dribbles back out high, spins, puts it into the lane, and it won't crawl in. Rebound chased down by Shipman. Then they feed it down into the lane to Bovey, puts it up, it again doesn't go in. Rebound taken away by the Spartans. Braithwaite, top of the key, into the lane, feeds it back out to Lane on the right side. And to Driscoll, to Braithwaite, back to Driscoll. Now to Lane over on the left side, goes down to the baseline, puts it up, it's out of bounds, but it went off of Shipman. So it will be Spartans ball. Vikings on top, 15-12.
Colfax being stingy on the inside so far.
Careful with it. And then she gets it out to Hoff. Hoff over to Nichols on the left side. Drives into the paint, puts it up. It's no good. Rebound tipped. It's out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. Sikora feeds it into Bovey, and Bovey comes across the timeline. Over to the left side to Acker, into the lane to Shipman, back out to Sikora. Sikora on the right side, down into the corner to Shipman. Shipman dribbles out a little bit, gets it back to Sikora. Sikora driving the baseline. Feeds it towards Hajdukovic, just out of her fingertips, and taken away by the Spartans. Nichols has it for the Spartans down into the left corner to Olsen. She drives into the paint, and she took an extra step. So the Vikings will get it back. Just under 5 minutes.
Yeah, both teams kind of flat right now.
Super Bowl hangover, right?
Yeah.
Just can't get things rolling right. Kind of like the way the Chiefs felt yesterday. Acker over to Sikora, feed into the lane, but it was too high for Shipman, and the Spartans come back with it. Feeds down underneath, layup is no good by Peterson, and coming away with it are the Vikings. Shipman has it on the right side, hands it out to Bovey, steps inside the arc, it's no good. And coming back are the Spartans. Careful has it, and then over to Nichols. Over to the far side, that's Olsen on the wing. Back out to Careful, to Hoff. Over to Olsen on the left side. Feeds it into the lane to Peterson, and she's going to get tied up by Hajdukovic. And possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, good job by Colfax. And just not letting anything in the middle there. And Somerset said take some off shots.
Nichols back in for the Vikings for Acker. Bovey with the ball. Over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman feeds it down to the right wing to Sikora. Sikora bounce pass into Shipman, who gets it out to Nichols. Back over to Shipman. She puts up a three. It's short. And check that. Braithwaite has it for the Spartans. Stops at the free throw line. Over to Olsen on the left side. Takes it back out to the free throw line. Feeds it down to Careful in the lane, and it gets taken away by the Vikings. Bovey with it between the circles. She feeds it over to Nichols. Nichols lost the handle on it, and down the floor come the Spartans, putting it up. It's an offensive foul being called. Oh boy, Lucy Nichols with the offensive foul. I don't know, Dan.
Yeah, good job by Jordan Bovey. She got there, but she sold it.
I was going to say, I'm going to hire her as a salesperson, I think, because that was a pretty good job of salesmanship by Jordan Bovey. Ball comes over to Bovey on the left side. Takes it out to the top of the key to Sikora. Down into the corner, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Viking ball. Shipman to inbound. 2.5 minutes remaining, or coming up on that anyway. And the pass gets immediately stolen by Nichols. She drives into the paint. She puts it up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. One-on-one here. Shipman stops, hesitates, and ball got partially blocked. Spartans come away with it. They feed it out high to the left, now over to the right side. This is Hoff with it. Gets it out to Olsen. Then to Nichols, three-pointer, rattles home. And we're tied at 15.
5 points for Nichols.
Inside 2 minutes to go. Bovey with the ball. Feeds it over to Nichols. That's the Viking form of Nichols. She drives the baseline, feeds it underneath the Sikora. Back out to Bovey at the free throw line. Puts it up, and it's good. Vikings back on top, 17-15. Nichols for the Spartans. Shot gets blocked by Hajdukovic. That's her second clean block of the night. Bovey puts it off the glass. It's no good. Rebound. Chased down by Sikora. Sikora has it between the circles. Gets it over to Nichols. Now over to the left side to Bovey, to Hajdukovic. And the ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be the Vikings' ball. So Lyric Nichols to inbound for the Vikings. Sikora puts the shot up. It's no good. And down the floor come the Spartans. They feed it into the lane to Careful, puts it up, and what looked like a pretty good block again by Hajdukovic, but they say she got her on the arm.
That'll be her first.
Fourth foul. In fact, 4 fouls both ways. First shot is up. It's no good by Careful. Second shot is up, and that one rattles home. Vikings up 17-16. Under a minute to go in the first half. Jordan Bovey brings the ball down the floor. By the way, Sierra Shipman will be our Viking profile at halftime. Lyric Nichols with a 3. It's no good. Rebound taken away by Hajdukovic, and she puts it up and in. Clara Hajdukovic battling for the ball down there and made the best of it. 19-16, and Braithwaite.
Ooh, is that on Sikora?
No, I don't think so.
It is. That'll be her third.
Oh, it is on Sikora. That's 3 on her. 34 seconds to go in the half. Not a time to pick up your third. Hurlburt into the lineup as Sikora takes a seat. Hoff puts up the three-pointer. She hit it. And we're tied at 19.
5 points for Avery Hoff.
So the Vikings bring it down the floor. Bovey with it. She's indicating for people to come out high. She's still on the dribble. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic. Then back to Bovey. Bovey with 5 seconds. Shipman puts up the three. It's off the iron, no good. Shot goes up, and they're going to count it. They're going to count it. Now the officials are going to talk.
Or are they?
No, they're not going to talk. That one counts by Shipman. Vikings with a 21-19 lead at halftime. And coming up is Viking halftime, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Okay, today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Sierra Shipman. And Sierra, you're a junior here at Colfax?
Yep.
And we know that you play basketball, but are there any other activities that you've been involved with here at school?
I do volleyball and softball.
Okay, and how'd the volleyball season go for you?
Pretty good.
And how about last year's softball season?
Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent softball team last year, right?
Yeah.
You guys did well. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started playing in second grade, and it's been good.
Okay, and what's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
But you just have to stay positive.
All right. Yeah, because the negative is going to drag you down.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you busy or occupied?
I like to hang out with my friends and family.
Okay. All right. All right, now you know this is coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which kind?
Probably mint chocolate chip.
Ooh, one of my favorites, too. That's a good choice, especially with the holidays and everything. And, yeah. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Hot dog.
And what do you want on that dog?
Ketchup.
Just ketchup. Okay. Favorite color and why?
Probably just light purple. I just like it.
Okay. All right. Now, if Sierra had a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
I'd probably read other people's minds.
Ooh, Good thought.
Yeah.
Get that? Good thought. Okay, and if you had the ability to read minds, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that superpower. What's Sierra's superhero name?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Work on that one. Okay. Next year when you're a senior and we're doing this again, I expect an answer from you. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably the Bucks.
All right. How about his favorite collegiate team?
I don't know. I don't have one.
Okay. If you could sit down with any sports personality from any sport, any time in history, whether it's a player or a coach, whatever, and pick their brain, who do you think that might be and why?
Probably Caitlin Clark. I don't know. I just like her.
Okay, and she'd probably be the easiest of them to get a hold of now.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty recent. All right. We're talking with Sierra Shipman today on Viking Profile. And Sierra, what are your plans for after high school?
I don't know yet.
Haven't decided?
Nope.
You still got time. You're a junior. Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Yeah, shout out to my family for coming to watch.
They come almost every game, don't they?
Yeah.
They're always there. When people watch Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
I'll be at number 3.
And for those people that don't go by the numbers and go by the old-fashioned positions, what would that be?
Probably like a shooting guard.
Okay.
Just like, yeah.
All right, so your job is put the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, okay. We want to thank Sierra Shipman for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
And we're back here at Somerset High School. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera. And the Vikings are leading 21-19. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got there?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for the Somerset Spartans. They are led by number 34, Ashley Careful. She has 6 points. We have Lucy Nichols with 5. Grace Braithwaite has 5. And Avery Hoff has 5. For the Vikings, they're led right now by number 12, Jordan Bovey. She has 8 points. We have Sarah Shipman with 6. We have Brent Skor with 4. Claire Hajdukovic has 2. And Lyric Nichols has 1. 21-19, Colfax leads.
And I have to admit it, I think I called that last shot at the buzzer beater at the half for Shipman, and it actually goes to Bovey. Dan was right. I was... I can't get that word to come out, Dan. I was wrong. All right, there it went.
That's all right. I gave myself a pat on the back later.
There you go. So we're getting ready to start the second half. Possession arrow will be in favor of the Spartans. Vikings up by 2. And Coach Serrar taking a few extra seconds. And now they're up and getting ready, and the buzzer goes again. And now they're out on the floor.
Same starters, Somerset possession.
So the Spartans will inbound the ball, careful to do it. And she gets it into Lucy Nichols, who feeds it over to the near side to Olsen, back out to Careful, to Hoff over on the far side. Back out to the top of the key, and the three-point shot is no good by Nichols. It'll be Viking ball. Sikora gets it into Bovey. Bovey bringing it down the floor. Crosses the timeline, feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. To Sikora from the free throw line. It's off the air, no good. Hajdukovic puts it back up and in. Clara Hajdukovic with 2 more. Nichols feeds it over to Olsen, to Braithwaite, to Hoff. Back out high to Nichols. Nichols drives down the left side of the lane to Olsen, to Careful, to Olsen. Back to Careful. They lost her, but she lost the rim. Did not put it in. She was wide open for that layup and just didn't make it count.
I think
so. Bovey with it. To Nichols on the near side. Takes it back out to the top of the key. Gets it over to Shipman. Shipman to Sikora at the free throw line. Sikora takes it over to the left side. Back out to Bovey at the top of the key. Coming over to the right. Takes it down to the baseline. Spins. Gets it out to Sikora. Sikora drives the baseline. Stops there. Feeds it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic underneath. Tries to get it to Bovey, and she got fouled going up.
I think it's on 34.
It was 34, Ashley Careful. And so Jordan Bovey at the line. First shot is up. It's off the front of the iron. Lily Peterson checks in for Careful. Second shot is up. That one's good. Vikings up by 5, 24-19. Nichols gets it over onto the far side to Olsen. Back out high to Braithwaite. And Braithwaite took a couple of steps before passing the ball. And it'll go back to the Vikings. Sikora sends it in to Bovey. Takes it across the timeline over to the left side. And Shipman tried to feed it in. Braithwaite has it. Solo shot and puts it in. 24-21, Vikings on top. Shipman with it. Gets it out to Sikora. She takes it over to the right side. Drives into the lane. Stops. Puts it up and puts it in. 26-21, Vikings back up by 5. Hoff with it. Gets it out to Braithwaite. To Nichols. Long three-pointer off the iron, no good. That rebound's taken down by Lyric Nichols. Bovey has it between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman, then to Sikora. Sikora down in the right corner. Tries to feed it into the lane. Pass got intercepted. And the Spartans get it across the timeline. They feed it down underneath. Peterson puts it up and puts it in. Somebody lost Peterson in all the traffic.
Lily Peterson with the first 2 points of the night.
Bovey over to Shipman. Shipman sends it over to Nichols and then over to Bovey. Back out to Shipman. To Sikora. To Hajdukovic on the left side. Into the lane to Shipman. Back out to Hajdukovic from the free throw line. Off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound chased down by Sikora. Puts up a three. No. Rebound taken out of there by the Vikings. To Bovey. Bovey takes it into the lane. Puts it up. It's off the iron. 3 chances and they couldn't cash in. Braithwaite takes it. Puts it up. And before the shot we have a foul on the floor. Fouls on Shipman. And we're going to get a timeout by the Vikings with the Vikings on top 26-23. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here at Somerset. And the Spartans will get the ball in bounds after the foul on Shipman. That was her second. Ball comes in and Sikora tried to steal it and lost control out of bounds, so the Spartans will get it back. Pass comes in to Driscoll, who brings it across the timeline over to Peterson between the circles. Then over to Nichols. To Olsen, to Driscoll. Now, driving into the lane is Olsen, feeds it to Driscoll on the left baseline. She drives straight through, gets it back out to Olsen, feeds it to Braithwaite, puts a shot up, and we're going to get a foul on Hajdukovic. I could even see that one. She just kind of leaned in on the shot.
Should be her second.
And it's going to put Braithwaite to the line for 2. First shot is up. It's good. And the second shot. That one's also good. That's 7 points for Braithwaite. Vikings on top by 1. 26-25. Shipman with it. Feeds it over into the right corner to Nichols. Back out high to Hajdukovic. High, wide, and right. Then to Bovey between the circles. Over to Nichols on the right side. Stops at the top of the key. Gets it over to Sikora. Then back to Bovey. To Shipman on the left. Bounce pass to Sikora. To Bovey. Bovey back out between the circles to Hajdukovic on the left. Takes it to the top of the key to Nichols. Then to Sikora over to the left side to Shipman.
Spartans are in zone again, 2-3.
Bovey with it. Drives into the paint, puts it up. It won't go in. Hajdukovic with the putback. It doesn't go. Bovey chases the ball down, and it got knocked loose. Coming out of there are the Spartans. They're looking to take the lead this time down. They swing it over to the right side to Olsen. Then to Nichols. Drives into the paint, puts it up. It's no good. Rebound taken out of there by Bovey. Bovey feeds it over to the left side to Sikora. Sikora back out high to Nichols. Then to Shipman. Shipman drives to the paint, feeds it to Hajdukovic. Ball got knocked loose, and we're going to get a foul called on Shipman. She was just kind of hanging on the arm there.
I think that's her third.
That's her third. Team's third.
Hurlbert checks in for Nichols, and Acker is coming in for Hurlbert, or not Hurlbert, but Hajdukovic. So Lucy Nichols with the ball for the Spartans. Long three-pointer, and she hit it! And the Spartans take a 28-26 lead over the Vikings.
Lucy Nichols has 8 points.
Bovey to Shipman to Sikora on the right side. She lost the handle, and the Spartans come back with it. Vikings getting a little careless with the ball. Nichols, and then they'll swing it around to the right side to Driscoll, to Braithwaite. From the paint, she put it in. 30-26, 4-point lead for the Spartans. Vikings gets it over to Asher from Bovey to Shipman, back to Bovey. Bovey drives to the baseline, steps in, puts a shot up, it's no good. Put back shot attempt is no good by Shipman. And the foul is going to be on Braithwaite. First personal foul on Braithwaite. Second team foul on the Spartans. Free throw is up and no good by Shipman. Second shot is up off the front of the iron, no good. That's uncharacteristic for Sierra Shipman. Braithwaite with the ball, gets it over to Hoff. Hoff back out high, and then they get it over to Nichols. Nichols at the top of the key. Gets it over to Braithwaite, then to Hoff on the right side. Feeds it to Careful, and we're going to get a foul.
Jump ball.
Nope, it is a jump ball, you're right. So the Vikings have it via the possession arrow. Bovey with it. Gets it over to Acker. Acker back to Bovey. Then down into the right corner to Shipman. Back out to Bovey. Swinging it over to Sikora, to Acker. Down into the left corner to Hurlbert. Hurlbert gets it back to Shipman. Shipman to Bovey. Bovey takes it to the free throw line. Out to Acker. Then to Hurlbert. To Bovey. To Sikora to Bovey on the right side. Takes it to the top of the key. Then to Sikora. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Acker. She gets the ball over to Hurlbert. And it was last touched by the Spartans.
Yeah, Colfax is small, right? And they're going to bring in Hajdukovic, give him a little height in the middle.
Also, in addition to Hajdukovic, Nichols comes back in. Bovey with it. Feeds it over to Sikora. Then to Nichols. Back out to Sikora. Tries to get it down into Hurlbert, or to Hajdukovic. We got a jump ball called. And actually it was good hustle on the part of Nichols because the Spartans basically had that ball stolen. She just dove head first in there to get it. Tied the ball up. So the Spartans come down the floor. They feed it out to the left side. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles in and back out again. And Bovey comes down with the rebound. Bovey on the dribble. Top of the key. Over to Nichols. She puts up a three. She hit the three! Lyric Nichols with a three-pointer.
She has 4 points.
That'll cut the Spartan lead to 1, but shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound chased down by Braithwaite. Out. They swing it around to Driscoll. Back out to Hoff. Into Careful, and we get a jump ball. Nope, it's going to be a foul. Foul's on Shipman. That's a fourth foul on Shipman. It's also the fourth team foul on the Vikings. Acker coming in. 9:07 remaining. Vikings trailing by a point. Spartans have the ball. Braithwaite to Careful to Hoff. Out to Olsen. Olsen takes it over to the right side to Careful. She turns, puts it up, and she walked. She switched pivot feet. And the Vikings will bring the ball down the floor. Bovey with it. She gets it over to Nichols. Nichols over into the right side to Sikora. Tries to get it out to Acker. Ball got knocked out of bounds by Lucy Nichols for the Spartans, so it'll still be the Vikings' ball. She gets it into Bovey. And they swing it over to the left side to Sikora. Then back to Bovey between the circles to Nichols on the right side. Nichols picked up her dribble. Gets it to Bovey. Drives down the baseline. Reverse layup goes up. It's no good. Braithwaite with the rebound. She brings it down the floor quickly on the right side. Pulls up. No good. Rebound by Careful. And the Vikings had it shut down. And they forced the jump ball. Careful turned to try to go back up with it, and the Vikings had her double teamed, and now they want to talk things over with a timeout on the floor. You're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Somerset High School. Vikings trailing by a point with 8:16 remaining. 30-29. I don't know if this has been good defense or the offenses are just having a hard time to get unwound.
Well, you know, both teams kind of started out flat, and then in the second half they start out flat again.
They get the ball into Hajdukovic, puts it up, it won't go in. And she gets the ball out to Bovey and stepped on the sideline, and it'll be Spartans' ball.
Yeah, good defense there by number 12, Lucy Nichols. Just didn't give her anywhere to go and made a turnover.
So down the floor comes Lucy Nichols. Feeds it out to Braithwaite, over to Hoff, to Olsen. They bring it back to the near side to Nichols. To Braithwaite at the top of the key. Back to Nichols on the left. Free throw line extended. They swing it back around to the right to Hoff. Down into the lane. Turnaround jumper is no good. Olsen comes away with it. And we're going to get a timeout called. Timeout on the floor called by the Spartans, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
You know, Dan, I know we just had a snowstorm over the weekend, but you know what does my heart good? Along the top of the gym over there are the batting cages. That means spring is coming.
Oh, green grass.
So the ball goes into Braithwaite. She turns around, puts it up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Bovey. She dribbles out of trouble, takes it across the timeline, feeds it over to Sikora. Then over to Bovey on the left. Back around to Sikora. She's on the right. Sikora dribbling back out high. Then to Bovey. To Sikora. Into the lane to Nichols. To feeds it to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in.
6 points for Claire Hajdukovic.
Down the floor come the Spartans. The Vikings are back on top. And we get a jump ball called. Possession arrow favors the Spartans. So the Spartans inbound the ball. They get it to Careful, then over to Olsen on the near side. To Peterson, puts it up and in off the glass.
Lily Peterson has 4 points tonight.
Bovey with it. She gets it over to Sikora on the near side. Feeds it to Nichols in the lane, then over to Bovey. Bovey turns around, puts it up. It rattles around. It won't go in. And down the floor come the Spartans. Spartans on top by 1. They feed it underneath, and it goes off the Vikings. Goes to Bovey. She lays it up. It doesn't go in, and the Spartans come back with it. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul, and they're going to call a foul on Sikora. It's her 4th.
Yeah, she probably would have been okay if she didn't kind of twist her body and took a block. I think that's her 4th.
So the first shot by Lucy Nichols is up and good.
Yeah, so Sierra's going to have to come back in with 4. Brennan Sikora will stay out with 4.
Second shot is up off the back of the iron. Peterson with the rebound. Gets it out, and now they get it back out to the top to Olsen. To Hoff, long three-pointer off the iron, no good. Nichols with the rebound for the Vikings. Bovey with it. Across the timeline. Over to the right side to Sikora. Sikora dribbles back out between the circles. Back over to Shipman. Down the right side. She's kind of tied up there. Gets it back out to Sikora. Three-pointer by Bovey is off the mark. No good. Whistle, and we're going to get a foul on Lyric Nichols.
That's her
First personal on her, and 6th foul on the Vikings, which means that the Spartans will be in the bonus from this point on. Spartans with only 2 fouls this half. Lucy Nichols with the ball for the Spartans. Now they swing it over to the right side. They feed it down underneath the Careful. The shot is no good. And we get a foul on, it's going to be on Grace Braithwaite. She came crashing in and took Bryn Sikora out of the play. That was a pretty good hockey check is what it was. Bovey feeds it over to Shipman on the right side. Shipman takes it down, puts it up, no good. Rebound, she got her own, and tries to feed it over to Nichols, but the pass is wide, and ball ended up in the cheap seats. So the Spartans will have it. They're up by 2. They swing it around. And down and putting it in is Morgan Driscoll.
Her first 2 points of the night.
So Spartans are now up by 4. Just under 4.5 to go. Long pass over to Nichols. She gets it out high to Bovey. Bovey stops in the lane, feeds it to Sikora, drives to the baseline, gets it back, shot goes up and in by Bovey.
Bovey with 11 points.
Nichols with it, gets it over to Braithwaite. She hit the 3. Grace Braithwaite with the 3-pointer.
12 points for her.
38-33. Shot comes over to Bovey. And then to Sikora, to Shipman, to Bovey. Feeds it into the lane to Sikora. Tries to get it to Hajdukovic, but taking the ball away are the Spartans. And down the floor comes Nichols. And we're going to get
offensive foul.
And the foul's on Braithwaite. That's a 3rd foul on Braithwaite. She didn't like that call. So the Vikings will bring the ball back. 3.5 minutes remaining, just under that. Bovey with the ball out at the top of the key. Now she's between the circles. Feeds it over to Shipman. Shipman takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Nichols, and Nichols walked. She did a little shuffle step before she put the ball to the floor. Coach Serrar urging her players on, wanting them to give full concentration. Shot goes up, it's out of bounds.
Blocked by Colfax.
So the pass comes in to Careful. She gets it over to Nichols from three-point land, is no good. Bovey right back down the floor. Takes it to the top of the key. Gets it over to Nichols. Now to Sikora. Sikora drives down to the baseline. Tries to get it back up, but it gets taken away by the Spartans. 2.5 minutes remaining. It's been quite a while since the Vikings have put anything on the board.
Yeah, Somerset
get it over to
run a little clock.
Driscoll and to Nichols, and then back out to Hoff, to Driscoll, into Careful, then out to Braithwaite. Braithwaite feeds it over to Driscoll. Back out to Careful, to Driscoll on the left side. Ball gets loose and Sikora picks it up. Quickly down the floor, feeding it to Bovey, lays it up, puts it in, and she drew the harm. Two minutes and a second remaining. So Jordan Bovey at the line for the +1. It's on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound, tapped around, and the ball goes off of Hajdukovic. It took a while to indicate who was getting the ball there. Braithwaite has it in the backcourt, being guarded there by Sikora. Takes it across the timeline, feeds it over to Nichols, to Braithwaite, to Olsen. Olsen between the circles, gets it out to Hoff. Hoff with the ball, got tipped away by Shipman. Goes down, lays it up, puts it in. 38-37, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
next girls Vikings game will be on Tuesday, February 11th, when the Vikings take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Tuesday, February 11th on NLWN-TV.
And this reminder that game is part 2 of a boys then girls doubleheader. The boys will be playing the Glenwood City the Mondovi Buffaloes. They'll be playing the Mondovi Buffaloes in the game just prior to that. And our coverage will actually begin at 5:15 for that doubleheader. Spartans bring the ball in.
Spartans will be in the bonus here.
And down the floor is Braithwaite. She gets it over to Hoff, to Nichols, to Olson between the circles. Feeds it back out to Hoff. To Careful. She threw it over to the near side, and there was nobody home.
Yeah, their gift from the Spartans.
Vikings trail by a point with 1:21 to go.
Hey, let's go now. No reasons for urgency.
Bovey with it across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side to Sikora. Back out to Shipman. Between the circles, gets it over to Nichols. Down on the right side to Bovey. Bovey dribbles back out high. 1 minute remaining. Sikora with it.
Inside.
Sikora over to Bovey. Bovey to Shipman. Shipman drives the baseline. And the ball got knocked out of bounds. They're saying it was off of Shipman.
Yeah. Thought it was going to be a foul on Braithwaite.
46.2 seconds remaining. Braithwaite has it. Gets it over to Nichols. Back to Braithwaite in the backcourt. She takes it into the forecourt. Feeds it down underneath. The Careful shot, no good. Gets it back out to Braithwaite, puts it up, no good. Bovey with the rebound, under 30 seconds remaining. Bovey on the dribble, takes it into the paint, puts it up, and it's good! Jordan Bovey, she got the Euro step that time, I think.
Yeah, that was a tough shot for her.
And we're gonna get a timeout on the floor, with the Vikings with the 1 point lead on NLWN-TV.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School Baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
NLWN-2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, February 11th, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. This is a makeup game for the game originally scheduled for January 21st and will be part 1 of a boys then girls doubleheader with the girls taking on Glenwood City following the boys. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 5:15 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on Tuesday, February 11th on NLWN-2 and NLWN-TV.
Jordan Bovey at the line for the +1. Vikings up by 1. And the free throw's on the way. It's off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound being battled for, and the Spartans have it. Down the floor they come. Nichols with the ball. Takes it over to the right side, feeds it down to the corner to Nichols, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken out of there by the Vikings. Bovey with it, and we're going to get a foul called on the Spartans. I think it's going to be on Avery Koff.
I think they got a timeout. Oh, no.
Oh, it's on Careful. That is her third foul. And it's the team's 7th foul on the Spartans. So at the line for the 1-and-1 is Jordan Bovey. And we're going to get another timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it right here. Want to remind you that the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team is going to compete in the WIA regional tournament on Saturday at Baldwin Woodville High School. The weigh-ins are going to get underway at 9 a.m. for that one. Also, parents, please don't forget that the parent-teacher conferences are going to be held on Monday and Tuesday of next week from 5:45 to 7:15 each day at the Colfax schools. You are a vital part of your child's education, so be sure to participate in those parent-teacher conferences. Well, Dan, this is where I walked into this gym with a full head of hair, right?
Yeah, you know, there was a couple times throughout this game I thought, man, this is getting really flat, getting a little boring. Everybody's pretty quiet here, and all of a sudden everybody's now come alive.
6.7 seconds remaining on the clock. Vikings up by 1. Jordan Bovey at the line for the 1-and-1. Shot is on the way. It's off the iron. No good. Here come the Spartans. 4 seconds remaining. 1 second. And no, they do not get the shot off. And the Vikings come away with a 39-38 win over the Somerset Spartans. Holy cow, Dan. That one was a little bit of a nail biter.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to just stay in their system and come away with the win.
And we'll have a lot more about that when we get to Viking postgame, which we'll have coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we're back here at Somerset High School, where the Vikings come away 39-38 winners over the Somerset Spartans. Dan, it wasn't exactly pretty.
Yeah, I thought both teams, they just looked a little slow tonight, but they both teams did. And I think that kept Colfax from getting kind of into urgency. They stayed to their game plan, got their way inside in the second half, and just enough to get the win.
And they stayed aggressive. They knew how much the officials were going to give them because the officials were consistent tonight. And so, we talk about this in baseball a lot, how when you've got to learn what the umpire is going to give you. And this was a good case of it in basketball tonight, because they got the same information on both ends of the floor, and the Vikings knew what they could do and what they could work with, and they did that. And
Colfax has sticky hands. You always got to be careful where they are, because all of a sudden two girls around and then it's jump ball.
And joining us right now is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, sometimes, it's a mark of a really good team that finds a way to win in spite of everything.
Yeah, effort-wise, we were great. We defended our butts out. I thought we rebounded super well. We could not get into a flow on offense. So their 3-2 is, it's hard to figure out. It's hard when, and they play man in the area and then it's zone. So it just makes you think a little bit. And we couldn't really master, where to get the ball. We needed to get it inside, and we just couldn't do that. But, bottom line is my kids made plays down the stretch when they needed to, and I was, regardless if, I think we were like 3 for 11 from the line, which is
really not their style.
No, we've been shooting the ball well from the free throw line lately, but I'm just going to chalk it up to it's Monday. We didn't practice
yesterday.
It
was a Super Bowl yesterday.
Yeah.
And
So, but like I told my kids, I was proud of the fact that they just never gave up. Even though things weren't going our way, they never looked, flustered or scared, or, I think definitely some frustration showed at the time, especially, when the ball wasn't going in the basket, or, silly turnovers or whatever. But they still played their hearts out on the defensive end, and that's all you can ask for as a coach.
And what you're right about they did not give up. There was a very workmanlike attitude that they carried on the floor. Like, we know what we're doing. We've got to go out and do it. We're going to get this done. And things didn't always go the way they wanted to, but they kept at it and stuck to their game plan.
Yeah, like I said, they made me proud to be their coach, and I'm not surprised. We've played, we're well seasoned, battle tested. We've been in that scenario before.
And now you turn right around, you sleep fast, and you've got a game tomorrow against the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, and you've played them once before. You expect anything different from them tomorrow?
No, we just got to go home and get some rest and, come ready to play. And, this is our second or third week now of, 3 games in 4 days. So we just got to get some rest and continue to build on, what we've been doing. So,
well, congratulations on from nothing else, an exciting 39-38 win over the Somerset Spartans. And we'll have more Viking postgame right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And we're back here at Somerset High School. And Dan, why don't you tell us how we got to that 39-38 score?
There's scores tonight for the Somerset Spartans. I got to look. Avery Hoff had 5. Grace Braithwaite had 9. We had Lucy Nichols with 8. We had Lily Peterson with 4. And Ashley Careful had 6. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by number 12, Jordan Bovey. She had 15 points. Sierra Shipman had 14 points. We had Bryn Score with 7. We had Claire Hajdukovic with 6. And Lyric Nichols had 4. 39-38. Colfax gets a win.
And it was one of those, as we were just saying, Dan, it just wasn't one of the prettiest games that we've seen this year. But doggone it, the Vikings kept working, and they came out on the right end of things.
Yeah, I think they just stuck with it, and they didn't. It's like they never got into urgency because they really weren't in that kind of mood tonight. And they just did good ball movement and just enough to get the win.
And Coach is right, shooting free throws at that rate that they did tonight, that's just not the Viking style. Hopefully they get back into their style of free throw shooting before too long, and we'll see good things as early as tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think that they can watch this game and say, hey, you know what, we can play slow and still get the win.
So, speaking of tomorrow night, don't forget to join us on both NLWN-TV and NLWN-2 as we bring you a boys then girls doubleheader. We'll open with Viking boys taking on the Mondovi Buffaloes, followed by the Viking girls facing the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 5:15, followed by both games on both NLWN-TV and NLWN-2. Again, that reminder that the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team will compete in the WIA Regional Wrestling Tournament on Saturday at Baldwin Woodville. The weigh-ins will start at 9 a.m. Also, parents, don't forget parent-teacher conferences next Monday and Thursday from 5:45 through 7:15 at the Colfax schools. You are a vital part of your child's education, so be sure to participate in these parent-teacher conferences. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley, and Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for making it possible for us to bring you Colfax Viking basketball on NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson on the camera, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Vikings 39, Somerset Spartans 38. Oh boy, it was a tight one. And you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.